by the ignition switch issue is appropriately compensated as it relates to those who lost loved ones or those who had serious physical injury. That's what we're focused on.
General Motors has admitted knowing about the ignition switch problem for at least a decade, yet it didn't recall the cars until early this year. At least 13 people have died in crashes linked to those ignition switches. This is SRN News. The head of the Senate Judiciary Committee has unveiled a bill this week on reauthorizing the satellite television law.
Vermont Senator Patrick Leahy will release the Satellite Television Extension and Localism Act, or the STELLA Act, which without reauthorization would expire this year. Senator Leahy is said to be planning a clean reauthorization bill that he says will avoid some of the controversial issues that have stalled previous bills. The House, meanwhile, has its own bill. It includes a provision that prohibits broadcasters from negotiating as a group with cable and satellite companies, unless those broadcasters are owned by the same company. Linda Kenyon, SRN News, Capitol Hill.
The California Teachers Association is vowing to appeal a judge's ruling. The judge struck down tenure and other job protections for California's public school teachers as unconstitutional, saying such laws harm students, especially poor and minority ones, by saddling them with bad teachers. More details at srnnews.com. I'm Keith Peters in Washington.
Hi, this is Larry Manetti. I played Rick on Magnum P.I. This season, you've got to escape to Hawaii and stay at the Hilton Hawaiian Village Waikiki Beach Resort. Come lounge by your choice of 5 beautiful sparkling swimming pools. Surf or swim on Waikiki's whitest white sandy beach. Enjoy water sports at Duke Kahanamoku Lagoon. Visit the shops. Dine at any one of Hilton Hawaiian Village's favorite restaurants and watch awesome fireworks on Friday night. Hilton Hawaiian Village is Waikiki's only true destination resort with more of everything, folks. Book today at HiltonHawaiianVillage.com or see your travel agency. And don't forget to say Rick Steppers.
You know, they say in life we should savor and slow down and enjoy things. That's what our hosts Steve Andrews and Sally James do on Slow Living Radio. They do everything slowly, and they do it for you Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m., Tuesdays at 11 p.m., and Monday nights at 7 p.m. It's Slow Living Radio, the best in food, the best in entertainment, the best in drinks, including great wine. All with Sally James and Steve Andrews. Slow Living Radio on CRN.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the PM show with Larry and Nancy Manetti. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hello. Hey. Hi, everybody.
Hey, big exciting show. I'm watching Larry tear apart the mail that we got in studio. We got some great stuff.
Isn't he so strong?
People are so nice. Folks, thank you all so much for sending me, you know, little presents and badges from the police and all kinds of glasses, and Weldon sends us neat stuff from
Beautiful.
Texas, yeah.
And Larry actually ravenously opened up that envelope. Finally got it open.
I love presents. I can't help it.
You and me are the same way.
He's like a little kid.
I'm going to share it with everybody here. This is a little teeny badge, see, from the police.
It's for little teeny Larry.
Yeah. Okay. You'll get yours, Rico. You will get yours. So, what's new? The world is going nuts again, folks.
Yeah.
Every day, a little bit crazier. Yeah.
Everybody's shooting everybody. And
but how about those Kings?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Boy, they are really, really phenomenal team.
Yeah, it's sad when the best news is the sports news.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I know.
Yeah.
Big show today, though, guys. Big show. Now, Larry, I want to bring this up. Our guest today, I know for a fact that, Larry, you had something to do with booking this guest.
I did.
I know for a fact because you were in studio and you asked our CRN librarian if you could check out a book, and the book you checked out was a Rookie Cop versus the West Coast Mafia.
Right.
And you just kind of picked it up on a whim, and now they're now on the show. It's going to be Bill Palmini and Tanya Chalupa.
Right.
They're going to talk about this book, and this is a book that you found interest in.
Well, I read the book. I thought it was excellent, and Bill is an ex-FBI agent and went undercover like Joe Pistone, Donnie Brasco did years ago. I'm just interested in the FBI undercover stuff, and for some reason I got this thing with these gangsters. You know, for some, I don't know how to explain
the stories.
it.
You know, it's intriguing. You know,
I wouldn't want to have dinner with one of these creeps. But they're not nice guys. They're really brutal and they're murderers and all. But it's ironic to me that somebody can come out of a neighborhood and have a second-grade education and walk around with $10,000-$20,000 in their pocket. You know, so.
Well,
hold on, wait a minute.
I think that's one of them calling.
I think they heard you, Larry.
Who's this? This is Vino. See,
drop it, Larry.
Never mind. Anyway, but yeah, this is a real kick butt book, and folks, stick in with us because we're going to ask them a lot of questions and make them we're going to put them on a hot stove because we want some great answers.
Well, there's a lot to talk about with this. My first question for Bill is going to be, who is the West Coast Mafia? Help us understand who they are.
Yeah.
That's a big question.
But, you know, I think he'll explain. These guys came out of places like Cleveland, New York, Philadelphia.
They saw the golden country over there.
Because, you know, California's a melting pot. But we'll get into all of that. And I thought it'd be different than to have a celebrity or a singer like Jack Jones or Steve
Who's
Lawrence,
going to be on next week? Jack Jones is?
Oh, really? Jack Jones.
Yeah.
Great singer.
Lining them up, guys. Stick around. More great stuff. Bill Palmini and Tanya Chalupa coming up to talk about their book, A Rookie Cop versus the West Coast Mafia, right after these messages on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
At last, Nexium, the purple pill, is available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. See those women drinking their iced mocha whatevers? Now they have Nexium level protection. That guy struggling to text and eat soup at the same time? Him too. Introducing Nexium 24-Hour, the protection of the #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand, just without the prescription. New Nexium 24-Hour. Nexium level protection, now in the heartburn aisle.
May take 1 to 4 days. Use as directed to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
At last, Nexium, the purple pill, is available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. See those women drinking their iced mocha whatevers? Now they have Nexium level protection. That guy struggling to text and eat soup at the same time? Him too. Introducing Nexium 24-Hour, the protection of the #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand, just without the prescription. New Nexium 24-Hour. Nexium level protection, now in the heartburn aisle.
May take 1 to 4 days. Use as directed to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the PM Show with Larry and Nancy Manetti. Give us a call. 800-336-2225 is the call-in number. 800-336-2225. If you call now, though, it might ring a little busy because we have two very special guests on the line. We have Bill Palmini and Tanya Chalupa. They work together to bring us A Rookie Cop versus the West Coast Mafia. Bill and Tanya, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Larry, thank you.
Hi, guys.
Thank you very much.
This is Larry, and Nancy's next to me. And
Hi,
that was,
Larry.
hi, how are you? And that was Eric Hines who came on first. So,
what a great book you guys put together.
Oh, thank you.
yeah, I'm carrying a rod now.
A rod? Oh, no, we didn't mean to scare you that much.
Yeah, I mean.
No, he's just afraid of me.
Well, hey, Larry, I will tell you this, that Tanya witnessed this, trying to do an interview with one of these gangsters, and he did threaten to blow my head off.
Blankety-blank head off, huh?
And I cleaned that up a little.
Oh, wow.
He pulled a gun on you?
No, he threatened to blow my head off with a shotgun.
My gosh.
Wow.
Well, now, Bill, you're no stranger to this kind of action, are you?
No. It's been fun. Great ride.
How many years were you in the FBI?
Well, I was not in the FBI. I was a Sausalito police detective, a young rookie police detective, and when I got drawn into this case, I had no idea what was going on when I responded to the Trident that morning, and it was subsequently later that the Federal Strike Force sort of was following me around and babysitting me when I was dealing with these guys, and a home reporter up at the Department of Justice.
Now, for our listeners out there, Bill, give them just a synopsis of what this book is about, and then we can get further into kind of some of the details that in the book.
Tanya, I'll let Tanya answer that. Tanya, would you answer that?
Oh, well, the story is how the mafia fell in the West. And I had listened a little bit while I was on hold to your discussion about the East Coast, West Coast mafia, where it came from. And that could be our next book for Bill and for me to write about that. But basically there was a connection, but the West Coast mafia had its own family too, like Jack Dragna, who ran. And this book is about how the mafia fell in the West. But it centers around a case that Bill Palomini had as a rookie cop, in which he reeled in a big mafia associate, William Floyd Edelman, who was a mastermind thief, and he also planned jobs for the mafia, and he was big friends with Scotty Spinuzzi, who was a Colorado boss connected to the Kansas City family, the Louisiana family, and because of that, because of their close relationship, other bosses in the mafia in California had to show him respect. He could go anywhere in the country and they had to respect him, and this irked them. And one of these big bosses, Frank Bumpancero, out of San Diego, turned and started talking to the FBI, and he started going after Edelman first and eventually others like Scotty Spinuzzi. And so this book centers on how the mafia in the West fell, and it deals with William Floyd Edelman, the case that Bill Palomini had as a 26-year-old rookie, and it centers around that story, involves the Trident restaurant, which pulled Bill in, and he can tell you more about it. But the Trident restaurant is where we launched our book recently. It was a place that was a mecca, a drug mecca for Hollywood and music industry. The Rolling Stones stopped there when they had their big parties. Janis Joplin had her own table facing the San Francisco Bay and the San Francisco skyline, and she used to sneak off quietly into the closet there and snort cocaine. It was Woody Allen did a takeoff on the restaurant in his movie Play It Again, Sam, and this whole drug scene.
Now you're talking about Sausalito, which is just over the bridge from San Francisco, correct?
Correct.
Yes, it's a beautiful little town.
Oh, it's gorgeous. That's where Bill was the detective at the time when he reeled in this big mafia associate that started the whole storyline.
Now, Bill and Tanya, is there any reason why maybe they chose Sausalito as kind of a base of operations? Has that ever been uncovered?
Oh, well, they operated everywhere. It's just that Bill Palomini was the rookie cop in Sausalito, but he ended up going to San Diego to arrest Edelman, and he was involved in opening up a leak to the San Diego boss from the San Diego District Attorney's Office.
Let's back up a minute, because these guys, Bombasino and Edelman and Fradiani, who we haven't spoken about, right. They're not people that were born and raised in L.A. So they all came from Chicago, Cleveland, and they were from rough Italian neighborhoods, obviously.
That's correct.
And came from families that were established there, like Mo Dalitz and all of those characters, and Tony Accardo in Chicago. So they came here, obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, but they came here looking for avenues of revenue for the families. And I think originally, wasn't it Siegel and Cohen that came here? But this goes back a long time.
Yeah, that was back when
but there were some natives
Flamingo
too,
in Las
like
Vegas.
Frank DeSimone, who was later a lawyer he's one of the exceptions to the rule because he was educated, and he was a criminal lawyer, and later became a boss in Los Angeles. But he's an exception to the rule. But his grandparents and father started the mob in L.A. So there were some natives, but you're correct in saying that most of them were out-of-towners.
Yeah. Was Tony Spilotro involved with these guys?
He was, but he was Las Vegas, and so they knew him, but he wasn't central to our storyline.
Yeah.
But he was a Las Vegas. That's who he watched over. He wasn't in California, but yes, he knew. They all knew each other.
Well, we all know that the mob has their fingers everywhere. So this book is phenomenal.
I could tell you this, that we could have made this book could have well been 700-800 pages, but like Tanya said, we had to stop and cut it somewhere and zero in on the people that we did, because that I was mostly involved with those people. But in the research for this book, tens of thousands of documents and court documents that this is like a spider web, that goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Guys, hang in there real quick.
Yeah,
we're going to go to real quick break.
When we come back, I want to talk about Edelman.
Okay.
Guys, stick around. More great stuff coming up. We got Bill Palomini and Tanya Chalupa online, all about their book, A Rookie Cop versus the West Coast Mafia. Bill Palomini, the man himself, that rookie cop that helped take down that West Coast Mafia. We come back, more questions right here on the PM Show with Larry and Nancy Manetti.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Manetti, and many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpanicin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you can look like a movie star. Herpanicin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
When you retire, sometimes you need a change.
There were so many places we wanted to see, and we just thought, gee whiz, if we just didn't have this overhead of this house and the worries and concerns that go along with owning a house, we could be free as a bird and go live almost anywhere.
So Lynn and Tim Martin sold up, put a few things in storage, and went. I'm Aileen Ellis. This is Primetime Focus. Lynn's 73, Tim's 68, and they're still traveling 3 years out.
First we went to Mexico, to San Miguel de Allende, which is one of our favorite places, and we spent the first 3 months there sort of just getting used to what we were doing.
Each place they stop, Buenos Aires, Paris, are planned months ahead. They book rentals and cook. With 2 suitcases and 2 laptops, they have one rule.
If you buy something, you have to give something away.
Lynn Martin's charming book explains how they managed it financially and the lessons they learned along the way. The book is Home Sweet Anywhere, How We Sold Our House, Created a New Life, and Saw the World. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. Hear all our programs on the web at aarp.org/radio.
Hi, this is Joe Montaigne. Every time my Uncle Willie tells me about his service in Patton's Third Army in World War II, I'm reminded of what we owe the U.S. Army. 14 generations of American soldiers who have courageously defended our nation. Their stories represent the best of America and should never be forgotten. Join me to help build the National Museum of the United States Army, a long overdue tribute to all American soldiers. To learn more, visit armyhistory.org.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the PM Show with Larry and Nancy Manetti. In case you've missed the first half hour of the show, we've been talking with Bill Palmini and Tanya Chalupa all about the book, A Rookie Cop versus the West Coast Mafia. Bill Palmini himself was the rookie cop who, Bill, you uncovered, I guess, kind of this organized crime, and how did it go from there? Once you uncovered the initial organization, how did it go from there?
Well, what happened was that let me back up and tell you that this guy had a faction plate. As you know, they came into the Trident with a boat under the cover of darkness, all attired in wetsuit and hoods, armed with guns, police crystals. They monitored the police frequencies. That's number one. When we started putting it together, we were solving other crimes. Now you got to know that this group, prolific safe burglars, sanctioned by the mob, did hundreds and hundreds of these on the West Coast and even on the East Coast. Never got caught in the act. Edelman and his group never got caught in the act. They got caught twice after. Once here in Sausalito, that was the initial case that started, and then San Diego. Now, what we uncovered is that because of my talking with Ellen, we uncovered a major leak from the San Diego District Attorney's Office directly to Frank Bompancero in San Diego. We uncovered dope that was being smuggled into this country, off-track betting, loaded casino dice, a plot to kill the owner of two casinos, or one casino in Las Vegas, and that started by when we did the search warrant in San Diego.
What casino was it? Do you remember?
Pardon me?
Do you remember the casino?
Yeah, I believe it was the Tropicana.
So that was a mob-owned casino.
Right, and they were going to go in and take it over. When I went down that night to arrest Edelman, and we had a simultaneous arrest going on Alamo, California, on Devaney, Scotty Spinuzzi from Colorado was at the residence. Had we got there 2 hours or earlier in the day, we would have had the Small Don brothers out of Colorado. We would have had Frank Bompancero there, and several other gangsters there. Spinuzzi went and got sanctions from the Kansas City and some other mobs. They felt that they were taking over of the casinos, a couple of casinos, one being the Tropicana, was right for the taking by going down there, sending some of the people down, including Edelman, to muscle in on the owners, and if that didn't work, they were going to kill them. And when it's interesting, because when we did the search warrant at where Edelman was staying, by the way, Edelman was staying with a lady whose brother-in-law was the director, Reagan-appointed director of POST, which is Peace Officer Standards and Training in California. So he was hanging high with high important people. But there's an attaché case. I'll show you what a rookie I was. There's an attaché case there. And when Dick Lewis, he's about 48 at the time, I'm in my 20s, he opens the case, and in there's all these dice, all these casino names on it, and they're all loaded. In other words, you're never going to crap out. You're always going to get your number.
Well, when you say, so you mean they had like the Stardust, the Trop, the Desert Inn, so they could go into any casino there and throw a few through hands and walk out with a few grand?
Yeah, with a couple of grand. Yeah, they never brought attention to themselves. He told me how they got the dice in, how they got the dice out. But it was my search warrant. Dick Lewis says, "I'll take these," and in reality today, I would have said, "Wait a minute, it's my search warrant. I'm taking this evidence." But later on, Edelman provided me with some of the dice, and just like I know that $20,000 of burnt money from the Tried and the Load went down and got laundered through Frank Bompancero's restaurant in San Diego, and had I that case happened today, I would have got an arrest warrant for Bompancero and burned the informant, went down and arrested him, if you know what I mean. And that's why it's called Rookie, because I was a rookie.
Now let me ask you something. Where did Edelman come from originally?
Edelman came from back east.
From Nebraska.
Nebraska?
Nebraska, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his parents moved around because he was a juvenile delinquent very early on. He stole a car at the age of 15.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Then he joined the Army at 17, and again he went for a joyride in a stolen car, was thrown into prison, and while in prison he recruited a group of men that when he got out, he went then west to California. And some of the men one was in Indiana, and he would advertise offering $1,000 for a person to come work with him to burglarize in California.
Wow.
$1,000 in the 1950s was a big, big chunk of money.
That's the voice of Tanya Chalupa. Tanya Chalupa and Bill Palmini. Stay with us, guys. We're going to come back in just a minute to talk more about a rookie cop versus the West Coast Mafia, right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Hi, this is Larry Manetti. I played Rick on Magnum P.I. This season, you've got to escape to Hawaii and stay at the Hilton Hawaiian Village Waikiki Beach Resort. Come lounge by your choice of 5 beautiful sparkling swimming pools. Surf or swim on Waikiki's whitest white sandy beach. Enjoy water sports at Duke Kahanamoku Lagoon. Visit the shops. Dine at any one of Hilton Hawaiian Village's favorite restaurants and watch awesome fireworks on Friday night. Hilton Hawaiian Village is Waikiki's only true destination resort with more of everything, folks. Book today at HiltonHawaiianVillage.com or see your travel agency. And don't forget to say Rick Stepping.
Time's running out. You're maxed out on your credit cards. The collection calls are coming every day, and now you're 2 payments behind on your mortgage. Every time you turn on the radio, there's some cheerful couple telling you how they got out of debt overnight. Their stress is gone, and everything's just wonderful. Come on. The truth is, what sounds too good to be true is too good to be true. Banks don't build skyscrapers so you can walk in and settle your credit card debt for pennies on the dollar. You need real help, and you need it now. Not bankruptcy. That should be your last choice. We're Credit Card Relief, and we've been helping people just like you for nearly a decade. We're the only attorney-driven program dedicated to helping you get out of debt in months instead of years, saving you thousands, and without risking your family home. We know what we're doing, and we don't make promises we can't keep. The consultation is free, and the relief is real.
800-981-7595. 800-981-7595. 800-981-7595.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Manetti. And many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpanicin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpanicin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
Here's something you don't hear on the radio every day. Someone who can't see. I am totally blind, and I go through periods where I'm unable to sleep at night and feel like I'm constantly running but can never quite catch up. But this isn't a sleep problem. It's something called non-24. Learn about the link between total blindness and your symptoms. Visit learnmorenon24.com or call 855-856-2424.
Sponsored by Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Nothing says I love you, I'm thinking about you, or I miss you, like a beautiful bouquet of fresh flowers from ProFlowers.com. Flowers are a festive way to dress up a birthday, holiday, or anniversary. Plus, prices start at $19.99 and include a free vase. Every bouquet is guaranteed to last at least 7 days. To send a thoughtful bouquet, go to proflowers.com/radio. And to receive this special offer, enter code DAISY. That's proflowers.com/radio, code DAISY.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the PM show.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Beautiful
This,
music.
what
Come
a
on.
great,
Beautiful.
great horn.
The Jamon Smith.
Jamon Smith.
Wow, fabulous.
Wow.
Big
What
shout out
an
to our
art.
music coordinator, Tomas.
All right, let's get back. Let's get back to this and talk about Edelman first. We got a lot of questions.
Yeah, we sure do. We got Bill Palmini online and Tanya Chalupa, the creators of a book, A Rookie Cop versus the West Coast Mafia. Larry, go ahead and lead this off.
Well, this Edelman coming from Nebraska, I'm intrigued with jewel thieves. He was a jewel thief, correct?
Yes, he was.
Now, did he do things such as Murph the Surf and Alan Kewen did? You know, like the Star of India stuff, or did he do small stuff? Did he do anything that's renowned?
Oh, well, he did a lot that was renowned, and he was theatrical. For example, in Dodge Ridge, he was more than a jewel thief because he was also a hitman, and he worked to intimidate people for Scotty Spinuzzi and said at the jury during a jury trial. But he, in Dodge Ridge, for example, he stole enough money that was equivalent to over $3 million in today's market, in bonds and jewels and everything.
So in essence, this guy was really a bad guy, because jewel thieves, to me, are like artists. They don't, they don't carry guns. They rob. You never see them. But this guy was a killer.
Well, he was a killer as a hitman, but when he robbed and burglarized, he was very careful that there was no killing involved, because his team wanted to come in and leave, and they would do crazy things like in Dodge Ridge, which is towards the mountains, the Yosemite Mountains. They came in on snowmobiles. When Bill was talking about Sausalito, they came in from the water in the boat dressed in as frogmen. In Dodge Ridge, they came in on snowmobiles in the middle of the night.
Wow.
And they subdued the employees that worked there and tied them up, and then they proceeded to open up the safes and drag one out. But he avoided shooting. There was a case in Arizona. We couldn't find the details on it, but we did connect with one of his people that used to burglarize with him, that was one of the best safe crackers in the West. And they told us of a case where Edelman did shoot a jewelry store owner who returned and started pointing a gun at them, and he shot him.
Did they ever do home invasions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, then.
Very rich people, like the grandson of J.C. Penney's, and another woman that owned a store, Schumacher, in Modesto, California.
She owned a big upscale jewelry store in Modesto.
Guys, you should do a book solely on him.
Well, he plays a big part in this book.
I know,
actually.
but I mean, I got to level with you. I mean, this guy's exciting. I mean, look, gangsters are gangsters, and they're silent, and they have other people do their dirty work. But listen, it takes a thief. Remember that movie? This guy makes him look sick.
Yeah, no, he was quite a character, and I got to know some of his family members. Actually, I'm friends with them on Facebook, and they loved the book. They thought I captured him very, very well. And what Bill did with him, because he tried to lure Bill to become a dirty cop.
Wow.
Bill, you might want to talk about it, how he tempted you with women. Tell that story.
Well, I mean, I used to go out drinking with the guy, and on several occasions in Marin County and North Beach in San Francisco, and you found up he wanted to do a score of Sally Stafford's place. I'm sure you've heard of Sally Stafford. She owned the Valhalla in Saucer, and he wanted to do a hit there, and then he was going to set up his guys, so he claimed. And but he kept asking me for information. I finally started to think, wait a minute, this guy's trying to get inside information on the Valhalla so he can do a safe job. And by the way, that's what another one of his great fortes was is that he had the type of guy. He had CEO presence, command presence. He was that type of guy. If he was a cop, he'd be a chief or a captain somewhere because he had that kind of command presence. But he also had the ability to find the person on the inside to get the information. In fact, he wanted to. There was a 30-year-old divorcee lady down in near El Cajon, San Diego, that he wanted me to come down and live down there for a couple of weeks and stay at her house and party with some of the mob guys. And so he was trying to entice me to get down there.
And Bill, tell them who, maybe a lot of the listeners don't know who Sally Stanford was, because she's part of the book and she's a fascinating character.
I love that restaurant. They've since updated it, Valhalla in Sausalito. But when we were there years ago, it still looked like the whorehouse that she had there.
Yes, that's right. She's an ex-madam of San Francisco that settled in Sausalito, and Bill knew her. She had actually been to Bill's house and at Christmas, right, Bill?
Yes.
And she supposedly found some of Edelman's jewels for him because those gals would like to buy up all that jewelry. And she became mayor of San Francisco.
So she knew Edelman then and what he was?
Yes. Yes. She knew him very well, and he told Bill that he found jewels from her, stolen jewels. She was known for that.
So let's get into that. So when the Johns came, did they rob them and then they sold the jewels?
No, not the Johns. The ladies of the evening, they were very high-class ladies, and they liked jewels and furs, and as one burglar told me, that's where a lot of their things went to, like even Joe Conforti's place in Mustang Ranch. They would go and fence a lot of jewels and furs and minks there because the prostitutes loved the stuff.
They were buying.
They would get it.
So they would buy.
Yeah.
No
they
kidding.
Would buy
I know
it. Yes,
Joe
that's how
Conforti.
they fenced it.
Wasn't he the guy that owned the Stardust?
No, he owned the Mustang Ranch.
He might have been hidden money, but I wanted to add, since you mentioned Stardust.
Oh, Tanya, hang in there just
hang
one
in there.
second,
We got to take a break and make some money.
Guys, we'll
Hold
be back
on.
right after this.
Want to know the secret to success, kid? One thing, the Grainger catalog. And Grainger.com. Okay, that's two things. Oh, and Grainger's got mobile apps. Those sure are convenient. 3 things to succeed. Hey, and 1-800-GRAINGER. I know that number by heart. 4 things. There's hundreds of branches, too. Like I said, the one secret to keep this place running smoothly is Grainger. Get it? Got it? Good. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, where to?
House hunting with this.
My phone?
With the Realtor.com app.
It's going to find us houses in this neighborhood?
Yep, just circle the area on the map with your finger and bam, all the homes for sale in that area pop up.
Neato. Now what?
Make a left and I'll call a Realtor.
Okay, but use your phone. I want to play with this app. Realtor.com is the most accurate home search site. And be sure to work with a Realtor to help guide you through the process. Realtor.com and Realtors. Together, we make home happen. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
There's no better way to say I love you. I'm thankful you're in my life. I'm glad to be with you. I'm thinking about you, or I miss you. Done with a spectacular flower arrangement from ProFlowers.com. A gorgeous fresh flower arrangement is a must to dress up every birthday, holiday, or anniversary. As a special treat for you, your beautiful flowers start at an amazing low price of $19.99. And ProFlowers.com will include a free vase with floral orders. Imagine a beautiful bouquet of 100 blooms for only $19.99, with a free vase included. Every festive bouquet is guaranteed to last at least 7 days. Tell your loved ones you're thinking of them with flowers. Go to ProFlowers.com/radio and enter your code to receive the special offer. Enter code DAISY. That's ProFlowers.com/radio, code DAISY. Send a bouquet they'll never forget from ProFlowers.com/radio, code DAISY.
Corazón está roto en pedazos en el piso. Tírame un trago de tequila, es el Arabian, and a shot of tequila on bartender.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the PM Show with Larry and Nancy Manetti. And guys, we've been spending the hour talking with the authors of a new book, A Rookie Cop versus the West Coast Mafia, and we have Bill Palmini. He is the rookie cop, and Tanya Chalupa. She helped put this whole thing together. And Larry, I know you had a question we were talking about with Tanya about some of the connections. Tanya, you had a comment before we went to break.
Oh, well, the comment was about the Las Vegas mob owning the hotels. They had lost power when Howard Hughes moved in and his group, and they bought them out. So when Bill Palmini was arresting Edelman, Scotty Spinuzzi was there then to take over the Horseshoe and the Tropicana, and he was trying to organize a meeting so that the mob could move back in to Las Vegas.
Was that
after?
after?
Their power.
Was that after Tony Spilotro was killed?
Yeah.
So
Tony Spilotro was killed, but he ruled. Howard Hughes took over in the 70s.
Yeah,
in the late 60s and 1970s.
Yeah, but Tony was there after that.
Tony was killed in the 80s, because that was
in the 80s.
Yeah, I was doing Magnum.
So
I remember.
then I thought he was in the 70s when I read the Reed books.
Yeah, well, he was there in the 70s.
But he was killed in 82
or 83,
something like that.
Anyway, that's interesting because this book covers everything. And folks, I have to tell you something. I read a lot of books. And obviously, you know, I'm an actor, so I portray a lot of these characters. But this is a book you definitely should buy, because from the time you turn page 1 to getting into all the characters, I'm just looking at this book here, Devaney and Ralph Morris. What happened? Ralph Morris was killed?
Yes, but that's an interesting story if you read the book, Larry. And
yeah.
Your detective work like you were at Cool Money, I believe. Reno PD in the corner at that time worked for Reno PD. They weren't separated, and they classified it as a double accidental drowning.
Wow.
2 people go into a hot tub. Their blood alcohol is 0.15, 0.17, which is, you know, I've been in a hot tub higher than that. But
yeah.
Besides the point, you have 2 people that drowned, and in less than 45 minutes. And when I called up to the coroner's office during the investigation for this book, there was a coroner that answered the phone, and of course the coroner's office is separate from Reno PD now. He goes, you know, I remember that case. It was my third week on the job, and there was all these cops from Reno PD, all these cops from Washoe County SO, all the other cops there, Sparks. He says, I never seen so many cops for some drownings. And the bottom line was, I said, could you send me the autopsy? And if you're doing an investigation, you should always know to always ask for the autopsy protocol, because the autopsy protocol is anywhere from 5 to 9, 10 pages. And it tells you everything that the pathologist did while examining the body. Now, before that, Tanya and myself went to Reno, and we went into all the dingy bars trying to locate old-timers that knew all the players. And the street talk in Reno was that Reno PD killed Ralph Morris.
Really?
And, and so when I read the autopsy protocol, I read it, and it explained on both the female and Morris's body, on their arms, their elbows, their behind their knuckles and their hands were all these abrasions.
Right.
You know, and how do you explain that? I explain that as possible defensive rooms or struggling rooms because I think that they were drowned under the water.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take a Phi Beta Kappa to figure that out. I mean, that's amazing. And they never did. I don't remember because it's been a couple of weeks since I read the book. Did they ever delve into this?
No, there's not even a police report on file.
Wow.
They have an accidental drowning one-paragraph page, which doesn't exist anymore because I did a second request. Or that doesn't exist anymore, and the coroner's report and the autopsy report is unavailable.
Wow.
Since Tanya and me started doing this. Now, the other note to this is that Tanya has some other information. When we got the Freedom of Information documents in the Freedom of Information documents, it also says in there that when Morris and Devaney, by the way, were crossing the street in Reno, they saw the two detectives that shot and killed another bad guy up in Reno, and according to the informant in the Freedom of Information, he said that Morris and Devaney got the hell out of there because they heard that these two cops were out to, quote, dump them.
Huh.
So you take that with the street talk, take that with an absolutely bogus drowning, which is a double homicide. But here's the interesting part about it. Reno PD shows up there in minutes, and one of the detectives hands somebody a note and tells them to call Edelman. Now this detective just happens to have Edelman's phone number on him. You know, I mean, that's out of the TV movie.
Wow.
But anyway, so this guy calls up Edelman and says, hey, I just want to let you know that Ralph just died. And Edelman's response was, yeah, I know, thank you, and he hangs up. Now, so if you read that part, which I'm sure you did, it leaves a lot of speculation in there.
Yeah, that's for
sure.
sure.
The only certain is it's a double homicide and not a double accidental drowning, but, you know, that's for the reader to figure out.
Hey, Bill, hang in. We got to pause again. We'll be right back.
Yeah, guys, stick around. More great stuff. We're going to find out where you can get a copy of the book, A Rookie Cop versus the West Coast Mafia, authored by Bill Palmini and Tanya Chalupa. Guys, stick around. More great stuff coming up here on the PM Show with Larry and Nancy Manetti. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, this is Larry Manetti. I played Rick on Magnum P.I. This season, you've got to escape to Hawaii and stay at the Hilton Hawaiian Village Waikiki Beach Resort. Come lounge by your choice of 5 beautiful sparkling swimming pools. Surf or swim on Waikiki's whitest white sandy beach. Enjoy water sports at Duke Kahanamoku Lagoon. Visit the shops. Dine at any one of Hilton Hawaiian Village's favorite restaurants and watch awesome fireworks on Friday night. Hilton Hawaiian Village is Waikiki's only true destination resort with more of everything, folks. Book today at HiltonHawaiianVillage.com or see your travel agency. And don't forget to say Rick Stephens.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. The calendar says springtime, but the thermometer says the living is easy. It's summertime at Columbo's. Make the most of it without spending the most of it. And Columbo's is the officially designated LA Good Times Central. Why? Well, seeker of nourishment fulfillment, the quenching of scorch and dehydration, and the nightly regaling of jazz creates a chorus of oohs and ahs. That, my amigo, is why citizens of our fair metropolis keep coming back week after week, month after month, year after year. You get the idea. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. And don't forget, legalize marinara. Columbo's, mangia.
Homeowners, there's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home and loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Call now. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
Hi, I'm Larry Manetti from Magnum PI. Remember me? I played Rick. And over the years, I've been asked so many times to republish my book, Aloha Magnum, which is a 5-star hit. Well, folks, I did it. If you want to see the behind-the-scenes episodes and all the naughty things that went on Magnum PI, you go to the internet and punch up LarryManetti.com, and Aloha Magnum is there at your reach. I thank you for your loyalty. Take care, folks.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the PM Show with Larry and Nancy Manetti. And we're wrapping it up, guys. We're talking with Bill Palmini and Tanya Chalupa all about the book, A Rookie Cop versus the West Coast Mafia. Now, Bill and Tanya, where can our listeners pick up a copy of this book?
Amazon.com or at the local bookstore.
That's great.
So
now,
do
you guys, do you two, or either one of you, have your own website?
Well, I have one. We'll need a little bit more work, but it's TanyaChalupa.com. And it'll feature more stories in the book, and there's a little bit on it.
Oh, well, I'm sure people would be fascinating. Eric, can you spell that out for everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. It's TanyaChalupa.com, TanyaChalupa.com. And Bill, how about you? How do our listeners keep in touch with you? Are you doing the social networking thing?
Well, I do. I do a little. I just started to learn the tweeting around, but you can have my phone number 415.
No, don't give your phone number out.
Wow, you get a lot of calls.
No phone numbers. Just give us the address.
So,
I have an email address.
You've been very generous.
Oh no! Yeah, listen, you're fascinating, and Tanya, you are so knowledgeable. It's just such a delight.
I tell you, I wish there was so much more to tell on this as Larry does. I thank you so much for treating it this way. But I will tell you one thing: this thing is the real deal. It's historical about the West Coast Mafia. It's exciting, and that's not because I'm involved in it. It's because I lived it.
Are you going to have them try and get a movie offer on this?
I was just going to say, let's do a movie, Larry.
Well, we'll talk about it. Leave your...
All Larry would have to do is grow his sideburns. He could play you.
Yeah. Hey, Bill.
How do you know about my sideburns?
I have my little birdie.
Here's a clue for you, Bill. Oh, thank you very much. Hey, listen, leave your number with our desk. We love you guys. This is one of the most interesting books I've ever read. Folks, get it. You will have a ball with this book. A Rookie Cop versus the West Coast Mafia. Even though the bad guys are paisans, we don't count them bums. They weren't born in Italy.
Thank you so much to both of you.
Thanks to both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
There they go. That was Bill Palmini and Tanya Chalupa, the authors of a new book, A Rookie Cop versus the West Coast Mafia. Bill Palmini was that rookie cop himself. And, boy, after that, Larry, after all that excitement serving on the Sausalito Police Force, I bet Bill really was looking forward to vacation after all that.
I bet. I bet he imagines the classic picture of Hawaii: white sandy beaches, Diamond Head in the background, beautiful turquoise waters in the Pacific Ocean, coconut trees swaying. Well, man, there's 22 lush tropical acres at the Waikiki Beach Hawaiian Hilton Hotel, and I have to tell you, if you go there, you will personally come here and shake my hand, and ladies, you'll kiss me, because this is the most marvelous vacation spot ever, and we lived there, so I do know. Yeah, that's it. So make sure you remember the Hilton.
Guys, be sure to check it out. The Hilton Hawaiian Village, Waikiki Beach Resort. Make sure to tell them that Larry sent you. And send us a postcard from Hawaii. Be sure to do
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
And listen, all you wonderful people out there, we are slowly running out of Larry's book, Aloha Magnum. As you know, we did a reprint on it, and they're going really fast. You can get those at LarryManetti.com. Also, there's photos he will sign for you, Magnum jacket and cap. So check it out.
Weldon, thanks for the badge. Beautiful.
Guys, also don't forget to visit Amazon.com to pick up your copy of A Rookie Cop versus the West Coast Mafia, authored by Bill Palmini and Tanya Chalupa.
Yeah.
All right. Any parting words, guys?
Twang your magic, twanger, Froggy. Hey, don't drink and drive.
Bye.
God bless America. Love you, folks.
Around the CRN studios, we pride ourselves on being the station of every situation. You can always listen live through your local cable TV provider, as well as on our website at crntalk.com. But with TuneIn Radio, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher, you can listen to the latest editions of our programs, like The PM Show, anywhere, anytime you want. Let Fred Dreyer give you his ace-in-the-hole opinion on politics. Bring Hollywood legends and their stories with you to your next party, thanks to Robert Conrad. And, of course, tell those Hawaiians the real meaning of aloha with Larry Manetti. For more information on how to listen to these great shows or many others, log on to crntalk.com and create your own listening experience today.
The radio channel. The radio channel. CRN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Congress is moving quickly to help thousands of the nation's veterans who can't get health care.
The House easily approving legislation allowing vets on long waiting lists to go outside the VA for health care.
This is beyond unacceptable.
Gus Malarkis calls it a disservice. Florida colleague Jeff Miller says it's a national disgrace.
And it's a national crisis when veterans die. As VA has already admitted, 23 preventable deaths due to delayed care and maybe more on the way.
The Senate has passed similar legislation.
SRN's Wally Hines reporting. Also at SRNnews.com, 5 Americans with a Special Operations Unit were killed by a U.S. airstrike called in to help them after they were ambushed by the Taliban in southern Afghanistan in one of the deadliest friendly fire incidents in nearly 14 years of war. House Speaker John Boehner is disputing White House claims that congressional leaders were aware of a potential prisoner swap for Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl.
There was a discussion several years ago about efforts to get Bergdahl back, and we're glad that he's back. But I was never briefed on any specific negotiation.
Boehner says Americans around the world are less safe because of the release of 5 Taliban detainees. The White House says U.S. officials are keeping a close eye on Iraq's second largest city, which has been taken over by Islamic militants.
The situation is extremely serious, and U.S. officials in both Washington and Baghdad are tracking events closely in coordination with the government of Iraq.
Spokesman Josh Earnest says the United States is committed to its partnership with Baghdad, but is urging Iraq's government to take steps to be more inclusive of all Iraqis. On Wall Street, they're up by 3 points to 16,946. The Nasdaq rose 2, the S&P unchanged. Crude oil down 6 cents to $104.35 a barrel. This is SRN News.
My husband and I have been married for about 7 years, and about 2 years ago, we had one of those momentous conversations. You know what I'm talking about? We were sitting at the dinner table, and he said, "Baby, if I ever have, like, bad breath, can you please tell me?" It was hilarious. I thought, wow, we were totally married. And you know what? I love that. So that's our new rule for one another, and I think that's kind of cool. We're totally digging on TheraBreath. The toothpaste, the mouthwash, the lozenges are all natural, not made with saccharin or artificial sweeteners. Not to mention their ability to turn the giant tub of mouthwash into a tiny footprint on our bathroom sink. For $10 in coupons, go to TheraBreath.com/Jackie. That's TheraBreath.com/Jackie, Jacki. TheraBreath products are available at Target, Walgreens, Walmart, Rite Aid, and other fine stores. So go ahead, get the extra onions, eat all the garlic you want, because TheraBreath is here. And TheraBreath, it's fresh breath, made simple.
President Obama ventured outside the White House today for a hamburger lunch with one of his cabinet members.
For the second time in 2 days, the president made an unscheduled departure from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. He and his education secretary, Arnie Duncan, ate hamburgers at a restaurant in nearby Alexandria, Virginia. Mr. Obama has made similar burger runs with the vice president. On Monday, the president walked a couple of blocks to a nearby Starbucks with his chief of staff. Greg Clugston, SRN News, the White House.
Meanwhile, a House bill that would allow some schools to opt out of healthier meals